Coach Jason Capson here, and today we are going to jump right in and talk about the top 5 bodybuilders to never win the Mr. Olympia. And I'm sure there's going to be some controversy here, and I want to know from you. Put it in the comments below who your favorite bodybuilder in history, the history of the sport of bodybuilding. Who is your favorite that has never won the Mr. Olympia? So first, I want to give kind of a shout out for the honorable mentions in this category. First and foremost, the most obvious one that I think a lot of people will be a little, upset that he's not on the top 5 list, but Kai Green. Kai Green, great bodybuilder, phenomenal bodybuilder, but in all honesty, I don't think Kai ever came close to winning the Mr. Olympia. You know, as long as Phil Heath was competing, as long as Phil Heath was winning, Kai Green really didn't have a chance to overcome, or he would have. It's not like a Jay Cutler, and you know, it's not that kind of a situation where, you know, Ronnie Coleman was on the way out, and you know, the king had to be dethroned, and along came Jay Cutler, and really looked incredible to take that throne away from Ronnie Coleman. Now, in Kai Green's situation, it's a little bit different. I mean, he was up against a juggernaut. He would compete against Phil Heath when Phil Heath was at his absolute best, and then Kai Green retired. Rumor is that he might come back. Who knows? But Kai Green's not on my top 5, but he is in the honorable mention list. Victor Martinez. If you don't know who Victor Martinez is, well, then you're not a historian of bodybuilding, and really go check it out. Go check out Victor Martinez in his heyday when he was at his best. He was incredible, beautiful symmetry, beautiful genetics, top to bottom, head to toe, very complete package. Victor Martinez, he goes in the honorable mention. I have to say Rich Gaspari. Rich Gaspari, competed a lot, and really, again, it was a timing thing. He was probably the guy that did the most in bodybuilding with the absolute worst genetics possible. He just was not given any genetic gifts, and he took his body and he took what God gave him and made it incredible. So Rich Gaspari's up there as far as guys that, you know, definitely should be mentioned in this category for sure. I don't know if he could have ever won Mr. Olympia, but man, did he ever do a fantastic job with what he had at the time. I'm also going to add Bob Paris to the list, just because I have a soft spot for Bob Paris, because I just like perfection when it comes to the physique. And Bob Paris, as far as he's cut from the same cloth as Frank Zane, as Reeves, he's just genetically bodybuilding perfection. Now, he never even came close to winning the Mr. Olympia, but I still think he had one of the greatest physiques in the history of bodybuilding. Now, let's get on to the top 5 list right away. At number 5, we have Chris Cormier. 1993 NPC USA Championships heavyweight first and overall. Then he went to the Arnold Classic where he finished 4th. His first Mr. Olympia in 1994, he ended up finishing 6th with a great package. In 1995, he also finished 6th. In 1996, he ended up finishing 7th. 1997, he finished 8th. 1998, he finished 6th. 1999, he got up to 3rd place. I think that was probably his best placing and his best physique ever in 1999, finishing 3rd at that Mr. Olympia. 2001, finishing 5th. 2002, finished 3rd again. I still think his physique that he brought in 1999 was his best, although in 2002, he looked pretty darn good too. Finished 3rd in 2002. 2004, dropped to 7th. 2005, dropped to 13th. But really a great physique, incredible package, his symmetry, the hardness, the balance. When you look at this physique, it definitely is Mr. Olympia worthy. He just happened to be competing at a time where there were repeat Mr. Olympias that just would not be dethroned, and that it was just a timing thing. But he was an incredible champion, won a lot of titles along the way. But the best he ever did at the Mr. Olympia was 3rd, but could have, given any other time, could have easily won the Mr. Olympia. So number 5 on my list, Chris Cormier. Number 4. We've got Lila Brada. Lila Brada won 22 professional bodybuilding titles. So Lila Brada, when you look at his physique, again, classic lines, beautiful structure, beautiful physique, but again, timing of it all. When he was competing, he was up against Lee Haney, and no one was touching Lee Haney at the time. Lee Labrada did everything he possibly could to win the Mr. Olympia. When you look back at his professional history, his first Mr. Olympia was in 1987, where he finished third place. 1988, he finished in fourth place at the Mr. Olympia. 1990, he finished second place at the Mr. Olympia. 91, he finished fourth. 92, he finished third. And then in 1993, he finished fourth. This guy he was in top 4 at the Olympia every time he competed at the Olympia, which is incredible. Again, smaller bodybuilder, but just what a beautiful, perfect package he brought. Amazing posing, perfect structure from head to toe. Could have easily been Mr. Olympia if it wasn't for, a guy named Lee Haney. Just was a timing thing. It just didn't work out for Lee Labrada, but Lee Labrada certainly will go down in history as one of the best bodybuilders in the history of bodybuilding to have never won the Mr. Olympia. Number 4, Lee Labrada. And number 3, we have Shawn Ray. Shawn Ray competed a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean he competed a lot. And just the Mr. Olympia, so just the Olympia, not counting all the other shows that he did, just the Olympia, get this, in 1988, he finished 13th place, his first Mr. Olympia. 1990, 2 years later, finished 13th at his first Mr. Olympia in 1988. 1990, 2 years later, finished 3rd. 1991, 5th. 1992, 4th. 1993, 3rd. 1994, 2nd. 1995, 4th. 1996, 2nd. 1997, 3rd. 1998, 5th. 1999, 5th. Year 2000, 4th. Year 2001, 4th. This guy came so close to winning the Mr. Olympia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 attempts at the Mr. Olympia, aside from his first year, the very first year where he finished 13th. So 13 tries, 12 of them top 5. That, again, you cannot speak about the history of the Mr. Olympia. You cannot speak about the history of bodybuilding and not say that Shawn Ray was one of the best, if not the best, to never win the Mr. Olympia. Came so close so many times. Shawn Ray, what a beautiful, incredible package he brought to the stage every single time. Again, amazing poser, perfection from head to toe, incredible symmetry, good muscle mass, came in shape all the time, great conditioning. Shawn Ray, number 3 on my list. Could have been number 2, but I put him at number 3 on my list as one of the best bodybuilders to never win the Mr. Olympia. Number 2, we got Kevin Levrone. Kevin Levrone. When you talk about the best of the best in the history of bodybuilding, you've got to put Kevin Levrone up there. He won 20 pro shows. Again, just an incredible physique from top to bottom, head to toe. Kevin Levrone did his very first Mr. Olympia in 1992 and finished 2nd. His first Olympia and finished 2nd place at the Mr. Olympia in 1992. 93, he finished 5th. 94, he finished 3rd. 95, he finished 2nd. 96, he finished 3rd. Wow. 97th, finished 4th. 98, finished 4th. 99, finished 4th. 2000, finished 2nd again. 2001, finished 3rd. 2002, finished 2nd. 2003, finished 6th. And 2016, he finished 17th. Now, when you look at the history of Mr. Olympia, and again, you look at those placings, again, he could have won Mr. Olympia where the champion was off. Any one of those Mr. Olympia, when Dorian Yates, when you look at the champions, Lee Haney, Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman, when you look at who he competed against all those years, you had multi-year champions that he was trying to dethrone and came so close, so many times. The best shoulders in the game at the time, the best. He had a physique that bodybuilders, even hardcore bodybuilding fans wanted. They wanted to be like Kevin Levrone, one of the best bodybuilders in the history of the sport, bar none, regardless of the fact that he never won the Mr. Olympia. He still will go down in history as one of the greatest bodybuilders of all times, one of the greatest physiques on the planet of all times. That is an incredible, incredible record. First Mr. Olympia, finishing second. That's incredible. That was in 1992, and then to finish second again 8 years later in the year 2000. Incredible. His history is incredible. Kevin Levrone, number 2 on my list as far as the best bodybuilders to have never won the Mr. Olympia. And last but not least, and this is probably, I would say, if you ask most bodybuilding historians, if you ask most people that have been around the bodybuilding scene for a long time, this will be probably a unanimous winner of this category. The best bodybuilder ever to not win the Mr. Olympia title. If you ask anybody who's been in bodybuilding for any length of time, 25 years, 30 years, they will all agree that the best bodybuilder to have never won the Mr. Olympia is Flex Wheeler. Hands down, bar none, the best physique ever to not win the Mr. Olympia. And in my eyes, he should have won the Mr. Olympia. There were a couple of times that he competed that he probably should have won and didn't. But it is what it is. Flex Wheeler, 1993 Mr. Olympia. Again, his first Mr. Olympia, and he finished second. And this is a guy that got his pro card in 1993 and won the Ironman Pro. First competition as a pro, first place. Second competition as a pro was the Arnold Classic, first place. So he was going into the Olympia and everyone thought he was going to win, and he finished second place in his very first Mr. Olympia. Then went on to win the Grand Prix in France, went on to win the Grand Prix in Germany, went on to win the Ironman Pro. Then he finished second at the Arnold Classic in 95. In 1995, he competed at the Olympia and finished a disappointing 8th. But he competed in the Olympia in 1995. 96 came back, finished 4th. 98 finished 2nd. 99 finished 2nd. 2000 finished 3rd. 2002 finished 7th. And then competed again in 2017 in Classic Physique and finished 15th. Flex Wheeler will go down in history as the greatest bodybuilder to have never won the Mr. Olympia. Bar none, nobody can argue that. The greatest physique to have never won the Mr. Olympia, Flex Wheeler. That's it. That's all for today. Coach Jason Capson. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know who I missed. Who did I miss in this list, my top 5 list and the honorable mentions? Who do you think should be the top 5 bodybuilders to have never won the Mr. Olympia? Let me know. I'm interested. I'm genuinely interested in what you think. Let me know what you think. But in my eyes, you've got Chris Cormier, you've got Lee Labrada, you got Sean Ray, you got Kevin Levrone, you got Flex Wheeler. Those are my top 5. What are your top 5s? Put them down below. Take care, guys. Coach Jason Capson signing out.